That's what's happened. So in the past months, we have tried to do the, all the hoops, the 501c3, the organizational insurance, the bank accounts, and all that stuff, and we are ready to go. And so our purpose, what we are wanting to do, is to do some historical preservation in our hometown. Now, we're very well known for the Levi Coffin House, but there's other history that we want to help promote there as well. One of the things that we are doing, and it may sound minor, is we want to put together a cookbook, and that cookbook is just as much a history book as it is a recipe book. So we're asking people in town to offer those family, hometown recipes and the history that's connected to those. In fact, I included some of my dad's crazy recipes that you'll have to buy the book to find. We want to talk about revitalization and beautification and do some things on our main street, our corridor, 27 corridor that goes through Fountain City. Maybe work on getting some grants or some program dollars that will help us do maybe some new streetlights and new signage. We want to talk about technological advancements and in the way of fiber optics through Fountain City. We've got somebody working on that. And then just the safety enhancements. One of the things that we would like to do is to have one of those electronic speed limits. I know that Greensburg has one, so when people come through town, they're not flying through town and jiggling the alarm at the Levi Coffin House, sending off the alarm, because that happens quite a bit on 27 if you're not aware. And then we also went to, one of the things that we did do is the ordinance for the town, they don't appear electronically anywhere. So one of our members actually went in and scanned the ordinances and have those electronic for the town so you can go in and see those. So we want to, as we put all this together, we want to kind of look at what is available for us for grants and other funding that can help us with things that we want to do. Past events, we had just started up, we said if we missed something for the eclipse, we're really in big trouble. So for the eclipse, we had a 5K race, we had a pet walk, and we also had an art show in town, and that was great. That was one of our first events that went on. Just recently, we had a party in the park, a block party that was amazing. We had different organizations there who, in Fountain City, the Lions Club, the Levi Coffin House. We had Touch a Truck, which I think is kind of crazy. If you don't know what that is, little kids get to come, and so the Fountain City Police Department, the Fountain City Fire Department, some ambulance services, even some of the farmers brought their big tractors in, and the kids got to touch a truck, and that went over really well. So we had that in town. So those are the things that we'd like to do. Our future plans are to seek opportunities for grants and other funding that we can use. We want to start doing a salute to the local businesses in Fountain City. Of course, the cookbook, and then we're also going to participate in the Levi Coffin Days, which has kind of dwindled in the past, but we hope to do some bigger things there as well. So as I said, never underestimate the power of people banding together to do good things, and in this case, it's good things for our hometown.
Good morning. I'm going to give a little bit of an overview about Lilly Gift 8. So the Wayne County Foundation, we are fortunate that Lilly Endowment provides funding and resources to community foundations. You've seen the investment across our county already as they've been working with Irwin College. The foundation now has another opportunity to seek additional funds that will hopefully benefit some of these projects and fill some gaps in funding. A little bit about how Lilly Endowment works with community foundations. They oftentimes offer us an opportunity to seek grant funding for something or things that might improve the community, and they're also wanting to make sure that we seek funding to build endowment. And our endowment is what makes it possible for grant making back into the community across all of the interests and needs that we see year over year throughout our communities, and that's all of Wayne County. So I'm going to specifically focus though on this large-scale project that we received a green light to move forward into the final presentation, so we're working on that. September 6th is the due date, and we will be presenting 2 projects for potential funding. So let me just give you an overview here. As Indiana's eastern gateway on Interstate 70, Wayne County is positioned to lead the state's talent attraction efforts. Wayne County has the potential to grow and become a thriving area through enhancements and marketing of its existing assets. The Wayne County Foundation led an inclusive 2-phase public engagement and planning process that involved more than 600 stakeholders. Participants expressed a desire for enhanced public spaces, additional entertainment options for all ages, and the exploration of increased mobility to public areas. The second round of the public engagement solidified all of y'all's excitement for projects that were selected that have demonstrated feasibility and are additive to the existing quality of life investments here in Wayne County. So you're starting to see the first picture up here, one of the first projects. One of the projects that rose to the top as we did all this community engagement was phase 3 of the Whitewater Gorge. This would be a $4.5 million investment to fund 2 projects within this phase of the City of Richmond's 2022 Whitewater Gorge Activation Plan. It's an ambitious plan, and the work has already begun. This project, so we'll move forward here. So what you're seeing, there are three-ish parts. There is a river walk, there is a bouldering garden that is really designed to attract older kids and adults, and then there's a nature playscape, and I think it's called an adventure playground, and that's really for the littler ones, for younger families, younger kids. So it's a very inclusive, multi-age space, and really activating something that is amazing right here in the heart of Wayne County. So the second space is an outdoor venue space at Kreitz Park. This would be a $370,000 investment that will bring a permanent outdoor concert venue to Kreitz Park in Cambridge City. This project selection is a direct result of community stakeholder sessions, and both of these projects complement the HELP strategic investment plan that we finished in 2023 and implementation has been underway, and Fort Wayne County's 2019 community survey, which really kicked off our digging into what needs the community had. So I do want to mention quickly that we have wonderful partners in this. So Lilly, we hope will bring some additional funding, but we also have City of Richmond, which includes the Parks Department, and Town of Cambridge, and Town of Cambridge Main Street. So we have wonderful partners that are all coming together to try and move both of these projects forward, and we're very excited. So that's just a little snapshot of what's happening through the foundation and potentially some Lilly investments.
Okay, I'm going to switch this out. If you would rather hold it, you can, or we can put it in here for you.
Good morning. My name is Betsy Whitmore. I work with INDOT in communications. We have a little update for you on the Revive I-70 project, and which I'm pretty sure everybody knows about because we've been talking about it for a long time. I want to talk specifically about, we call it Contract 1. This has been split up into 3 contracts. Contract 1 is the segment from US 35 to the state line, about 8.5 miles. And here's the big update. We have a contractor on board. The project team is getting together in the next couple of weeks. They're going to start the initial design, which will include added travel lanes, which means. Here's the exciting part, I think, you'll like. before we start the real construction, we have to patch the existing pavement. And we've all driven it. Who needs it? We patch the existing pavement so that when we start shifting lanes around and the Orange Barrel Ferry shows up, that existing pavement is smoother, easier to drive. So that's my exciting news. Well, we're excited about it. It is going to take, we do think it's going to take 3 years to finish. We're working with local municipalities to make sure that when we're doing work, we're not adjacent to other city work. We coordinate as much as we possibly can. So, good news, work is coming. Bad news is the Orange Barrel Ferry is going to visit. But there are always going to be updates on the project. I get to work behind the scenes to create those updates, and we push out press releases. Please follow us. And I'm going to hand it over to Kylie now, because if you go to the Revive I-70 website and you scroll all the way down, her name is on the page.
Yes, I'm oh so lucky to be so accessible to you all. Hi, my name is Kylie Kramer. I serve as the Public Relations Director for INDOT East Central District, which covers Marion County all the way up to Tipton County, all the way over here and everything in between. I am so lucky to be part of this project with Betsy. Betsy is part of our major projects group, and they are part of this. This is a major project. This is affecting thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. I know Ohio is very interested in this. I had the press secretary from Ohio call me quite a bit about what's going on here. Cincinnati is very interested as well. But we're very lucky to be able to work with such a community that is so welcoming to us. I think everyone knows, again, she said the construction barrel ferry, is that what you were saying? I like that phrase. Orange barrel ferry. Not everyone is really excited when they see those orange barrels, and we completely understand. We have to drive through it too to get to work. I drive through 2 major projects to get to my job, but we're so lucky from the feedback that we've received in those public hearings and those public information meetings that we have at IU East over here. We're very lucky to have those and such great partnerships and wonderful people that accept us into their community. So if there is anything that you see on the road, if there is anything that we can do better at, we want to hear it, and that's why we're out here today. Is to really let you all know that we want to be part of the community. We want to hear your thoughts, your concerns. We want to hear those updates from you all as well. If there's something on the road, we want to hear it. Trust me, we do want to hear it. We want to hear all the complaints as well. What Betsy didn't say that I want to remind folks about is that we didn't print enough. We think that there's more than 30 folks here. We're really happy there are more. But there are sheets on some of the tables. Not enough for everyone, but if you could share, that'd be really cool. It has everything that's up here, right there accessible for you. If you are a QR code person, you can go straight to our website. But we also have updates on what to expect for phase 1, which is what Betsy was talking about. We also do have what you're going to see on US 35. Roundabouts are coming to Wayne County. So we want to do some roundabout education. That is a thing that we are going to be doing out here. And we're really excited to start to implement that around here as well. We're not trying to make this the Carmel of Indiana. We are not doing that. We are just adding 2 roundabouts on 35 as you exit off of I-70. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, we want to hear them. Please let us know. Please follow us. It's the easiest way to know what press releases are going out, what's going on, update information. If there's a last-minute accident going on I-70, it'll be printed there as well. We also have a wonderful website that we've spent so much time talking about, even what colors we're going to make the website, so please follow us on the website. A lot of work and love has been put into that. And then also, you can always call us at INDOT for you. It's not just for I-70. That's for anything that you see on the roads within Indiana, border to border. We want to know what your concerns are. It could be we found a dead deer on the road, or that there's a pothole. We hear a lot of those. So we want to hear more about those too. You can either call us in at that number below, or you can visit our website too. That's gotten a huge major refresh too. That's really all I have for you. Again, please call us. We'd love to hear you, and if you really want my direct line, it's at the bottom of the website, so even more information to get at that website. Thank you all for having us here. We really appreciate it.
So at this time, we are going to make a smooth transition with a panel of experts that we've invited to be with us. So if our panelists will make their way forward, that would be great. So we are going to try that mic and see if it doesn't have feedback when we turn it on. And if it does, then I'll just pass this one to the correct person. So
I believe this is working.
Great. Well, maybe. I'll just pass this one down. So I want to first introduce our panelists. We have Mary Walker, who's the director of our tourism in Wayne County, and she does a fantastic job. She's been with us for a long time, doing a lot of great things.
That was quite kind.
And she just celebrated her birthday, so can we tell her happy birthday? Jim McLean is with the town of Cambridge City, and he's been working with us on the HELP program as well. Beth Fields from the city of Richmond, and then, of course, our commissioner, Jeff Plaster. So thank you all for the work that you've been doing. Jeff, I want to start with you and let you just tell a little bit about where this cumulative pot of dollars came from and how this process started.
It all started 3 years ago. Actually, Oprah came out with this idea for a program. You'll all remember that the federal government designated billions of dollars for local governments as part of the response to the COVID pandemic. There was about 400 or 500 pages of regulations that went along with that funding. It came out over a 6-month period in dribs and drabs. And so Oprah put together this project called the Hoosier Enduring Legacy Program. It was designed to do 2 things. Number 1, put more money out into the state. And number 2, to help us with the required planning process and to vet whether projects that we identified were actually eligible to be implemented using this federal money. So my first call was to Beth, and I said, Beth, this project sounds great to me. I think the county and the city should get together and apply to be a part of this process. And I said, I would like for us to invite every municipality that will be receiving federal money to participate in this project with us. So Beth and I started pulling together a group that many of you in the room were part of that group. We started writing the application. In the meantime, I took the lead and went to every town council between myself and the other commissioners. We visited with the presidents of every town council in the county, invited them to participate, explained that we're not asking them to contribute any of their ARPA money to any project outside of their community, and that there was a very real possibility that they would become eligible for either the $1 million that was coming to us from Oprah or the money that the county was receiving, which was $12.78 million, and that we could invest that money anywhere in the county. The only stipulation was that each town to participate had to commit a minimum of 30% of the ARPA dollars, the American Rescue Plan Act dollars that they received, towards implementation of projects that would come out of the planning process that they would all participate in. So with that, and the county contributing almost 50% of our ARPA dollars. We had approximately $10 million of ARPA money to invest in the projects that came out of the health program.
So Jim, I want to turn to you. You're representing the town of Cambridge City, which participated obviously in this help project that Jeff just spoke about. You had to sit on 30% of that money for 3 years. Was it worth the wait, and why?
Well, the simple answer to that is yes, but I won't stop there. That's a really good question because it was a long process, but I think I could make a compelling argument that the strategic planning process was really what allowed Cambridge City to not only utilize their own funds, but also, we ended up with $450,000 of that $1 million that Jeff spoke about. So was it worth it? Absolutely, yes. And, I was able to, I started out getting in the smaller group with Mary here on placemaking, and at that I was able to, get in and make my pitch for what we ended up getting the money for. And, without the strategic planning process, we probably wouldn't be able to get through and get to that. So absolutely, it was worth it.
Fantastic. So Mary, your department, Convention and Tourism Bureau, has been literally painting the town. So I want you to tell everybody about the murals that they've been seeing popping up and the brochures that they have on their table.
So the Wayne County Murals Program is also a program out of the health program. And there are 10 murals throughout Wayne County and 1 community mural, which was, we did that mid-July, and that was in Dublin, Indiana, at the Dublin Skating Rink, which was a great way to get communities from all over Wayne County and citizens to be involved in painting and putting their artistic mark on that wall, which is very cool. At each of your place settings, you'll see a brochure. So there are 2 additional brochures, not additional, but 2 murals that are in the process of being done. One is, the last 2 are Mount Auburn at Lakeview Restaurant, and then also Uranus Fudge Factory. So in your brochure, you'll see the designs. That is what the walls will look like. And if you haven't taken time to look at them, please do. They are fabulous. We had over 40 applications of artists that from all over the nation, and even actually internationally. We had one of our artists is from Toronto, Canada, that came. We had Miami, Florida. We had he goes between East Groverton, Indiana, and Berlin, Germany. And then, of course, we had Fort Wayne and Columbus and all over. And they're just beautiful works of art that we absolutely couldn't do otherwise without the exception of this kind of a program. So we're very happy. Take a tour. In your brochure, you'll see a QR code as well as a website showing where the locations are. So do take a minute, take it all in, and they're beautiful works of art. And we're very happy that everything turned out well, and we appreciate the help dollars. Another partner was the Wayne County Foundation and also the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, in addition to tourism, to make this program happen and to beautify our communities. And what really is cool, and I know, 1 minute, okay, anyone who knows me, I got the mic, no, I'm kidding. But one of the really great things is in the small communities, Conning is probably the smallest community where a mural is, or East Germantown. And when you talk to everyone there, what they are saying is that it has, along with other help projects like the patronicity grants for playgrounds, etc., that has actually energized their community. And so it's really cool when you see those kinds of things happen as well.
So just a follow-up question for you, Mary. I want you to talk about, because you spend a lot of time bringing, obviously, tourists into town. And talk about what a project like the mural project does for tourism, and what's the overall impact expected for our community?
when we started doing murals way back when, back in 2000, Hoagie Carmichael, all of you have seen on US 27, that was one of our first murals. We now have over 100 murals throughout Wayne County. We've created a Wayne County mural trail that people can participate in, do on their own, but there are other intrinsic values that also result from that. From a local perspective, again, re-energizing these small communities and beautifying them, it creates pride. It creates everyone to start taking more care of their buildings and their surroundings. And so there's so many benefits with regards to what we see, and they put a smile on our face. It's a happy, happy place, kind of like McDonald's.
Thank you, Mary. I know that I, for one, have absolutely loved driving by the murals and seeing the transformation, you know, from the beginning stages to the end, and it just makes me smile. And I know that that's happening all over the place, and so if you're out, you're walking around, you're at a place and there's a mural, snap a shot, tag Tourism Bureau. I'm looking at Angel sitting back there. I'm sure she would love to have the extra social media shout outs, so be sure to do that for them. We appreciate that work. So Beth, I want to jump over to you, and I want you to talk about the HELP projects in a few minutes, but first I want you to give us an update on Loop Phase 2 and then also the bridge over the Depot District.
Absolutely, thanks. We are really excited that Loop Phase 2 is moving along. This is a project that actually was born out of conversations and comprehensive planning that started in 2006. It was revisited in 2011 when the plan was updated. It was part of the 2015 transportation plan, as well as part of our 2013 Stellar designation from the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs. So this project has been in the making for quite some time, and we really commend the community for their input and for their diligence in keeping this at the forefront and the importance of connectivity amongst our community and having accessibility for everyone. So Loop Phase 2 started in April. It started the day after the eclipse. And so that project started on East Main Street in the 700 block, the 800 block, and then it is also in the 900 block. It is moving forward very quickly. We are very pleased with the progress. There were some challenges with some of the survey information, and so that has delayed the project. We had an original completion date on East Main Street of September 4th. That has now been pushed back to September 22nd. So we are anticipating that completion then. Work has started in the Depot District. It started last week, so they are beginning to do the work there. So that project in the Depot District, that is scheduled without any delays. It's estimated to be completed on December the 4th. So we are looking forward to having all of that work completed and having that trail complete at that time. As you'll know, we work for the Renew Richmond, which is INDOT's name for the US 27 Bridge Replacement Project. That is moving along very smoothly. They have had their major deck pours. They are doing those 3 days apart. They do their pour and then they have some time for that to cure. So we are very much looking forward to the opening of that bridge later this year.
So staying with you, Beth, I want to talk about the Whitewater Gorge projects, and as Rebecca mentioned, there's potential additional funding coming for that, but some of the work has already been done. Some of the things are a part of the HELP program. Tell us what's happening there and then what you're anticipating.
Absolutely, thanks. This is such a great project, and this is again a testament to what Jeff spoke about earlier and the power of community planning and putting plans together. The Gorge Activation Project grew out of the Parks Master Plan that they completed, and there was a lot of community input. Again, this is something that was very important to people as we went through the different comprehensive planning processes, the park planning process, and having that plan together. When this was put together, it was anticipated when we looked at it, we said, hey, this is about a $30 million project overall. This is something that's going to take us 15 to 20 years to accomplish as we looked at the phases and started thinking about funding. But the power of having that plan and sharing that with the community is we've had other partners and other funding availability become open to us. And we've been able to take advantage of that funding because we have a plan, we have estimates, we have a path forward. So we're able to demonstrate that to funders and to be able to access that funding. So there are many things happening in the gorge in this project. Currently, we have a Land Water Conservation Fund grant from the Indiana DNR, and that has been matched by funding from the Richmond Redevelopment Commission. And that first phase, which is underway, is basic stabilization, ensuring that all of our trails are adequate for accessibility, ensuring we have ADA accessibility, that everyone can enjoy these trails. And we're beginning the permitting process for the south end of the gorge, which will be the trailhead there at Test Road. So that will be an opportunity for individuals to remove their kayaks, their tubes, their different kinds of places from the water and to gather. There will be additional amenities there with parking, additional amenities with opportunities for a potential third-party vendor to come in and serve as an outfitter, so that there will be additional opportunities for the renting of kayaks or tubes to enjoy that area. The other launch point will be at the location of the Weir Dam. So there's also a launch point and a fishing overlook being built there that are part of this project. So those are in the design and permitting phase, and we look forward to seeing those coming forward very soon.
It's so exciting to go down there and see things happening, and then to see the vision that's set before us, and some of the images that we've seen from you and also Rebecca. It's very exciting. So Jim, speaking of parks and recreation areas, tell us about the parks that have been popping up all over the place.
Sure, I kind of prepared for this one. I want to make sure I didn't leave anybody out. So currently there are, I think there's 5 park projects that were funded through HELP, through matching grants with Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority matching grant. They are all in the towns around the county. Started East Germantown was the first one that got theirs finished, and I think you had a ribbon cutting on that recently. And I can tell you, I've talked to folks at East Germantown, and they are just over the moon about their park, and rightfully so. They resurfaced the old basketball court, actually lined it for pickleball, of course, as well, and then they put in a new playground, and it looks really good, and they're very excited about it. Beyond that, Economy also had a project to put in a new playground. Dublin is going to put ADA compliant pour-in surface on their current playgrounds. So that was funded as well. Milton, in the Milton school site, I'm honestly not sure what their final decision was for use. I know they had several projects they were hoping to resurface the basketball court. They were looking at shelters and also playground equipment there. And then, of course, Cambridge City also had a program, and we're going to put in new playground equipment, take some of our old playground equipment out, and put new playground equipment in its place. And that's all of them over here.
So I want to stay with you for a minute, Jim. I want you to tell us about all the activity that's been happening at Kreitz Park already, some of the use that you've already been shouting and being able to see in your community as a result of some of the work going on in the park, and then if there's anything additional that you'd like to add from what Rebecca shared regarding the performance venue.
So yeah, and Kreitz Park is very busy right now in Cambridge City, so I'm happy to say. We've actually, this is the second year that Cambridge City Main Street has put on a concert series. We just had the last one in August, second Saturday. Show up, it's a lot of fun. We probably had, it's hard to estimate a crowd size on a free concert because people are scattered everywhere. But we estimated around 400 people at each one, which was awesome. And we had people visiting from all around the county and outside the county. It was amazingly, we had people from Indianapolis that showed up. We've had people from Dayton come over and come to a concert in Cambridge City, which is awesome. So that's been going on, and that's one reason we say we need the venue, because we'd like to do more. Not only do we want this space for more concerts, but we also want to utilize it for other things. Hopefully movie nights, and the shelter is actually, the stage area is actually going to be set up so that it can be used as a shelter, so that other things can be done in there as well. As far as the parks, one other thing that I should mention that's part of HELP as well is we'll be putting Wi-Fi in the park, and that was presented to us, that the HELP group will put the hardware in and the town will pay for the service, and we voted to do with that. So if you come to a concert, you don't have to put your phone away. You can surf if you don't like the music, I suppose. So that should be in by next year as well. So, and then we got the playground, and there's more to come. And you've already heard from Rebecca about Phase 8 from Lilly that will do Phase 2 of our concert venue, which will put a sidewalk all the way around it and put parking for food trucks and a seating area to watch the concert as well. And we won't stop there. We're already looking at Phase 3.
The power of planning, right? So Beth, the county and the city of Richmond have collaborated for the Main Street grants that have been in process. I want you to tell us a little bit about that, how that functioned, and then what you anticipate coming out of it.
Absolutely. We were really excited to be able to support our local businesses through a building revitalization grant program. So when the committee talks about this, we had a lot of discussion about what would be eligible projects, what would not be eligible projects. And the final determination that we came up to is that really needs to be up to the property owner. They know their building, they know what they need, so the best way to approach this was to allow them to submit applications that told us exactly what they needed for their building and how they needed to utilize those funds. We also wanted to make it as accessible as we could to the businesses, so we had a 75-25 split, so the grant would pay 75% of the project cost up to $100,000, and the grantee would be responsible for the $25,000 for their project. If they had a project that was $133,000, they would be able to maximize that full $100,000 opportunity. Each community identified the area within their community that the grants would be eligible, so they defined what their main street was for each of their communities. And then applications were then mailed to the property owner as well as the business owner, because we know that a lot of our locations are leased by the businesses. They're not the owners of the building. And if they were interested in doing a project, then they were able to work with the owner of their building to submit an application for projects. We had an overwhelming response to the program. We received 41 applications for Wayne County. We had $2 million, $1 million committed by Wayne County and $1 million committed by the city of Richmond. We were able to fund a total of 23 projects throughout Wayne County, and we are very excited to see those starting. We have some meetings coming up in the next 2 weeks with the individual property owners to go through that process with them and how that will work.
Thank you, Beth. Jeff, this was just a sampling of some of the things that are already in the works that are moving forward, but there are things that are also included in the HELP projects that I say are a little less sexy, but very necessary and very important for our community. I want you to talk about those a little bit.
So we have a total of 33 projects across the county that are receiving help funding. Several of those are already completed. More are in the works and will be completed shortly. All of the ARPA dollars, whether it's committed to help or committed to other projects, has to be contractually committed by the end of this year, by December 31st of this year. And then projects have to be completed by the end of 2026. So we have a couple of other major projects that we're still trying to launch and going through the planning process. Is any of you aware of any inflation that might be going on in the last year or two? So keep in mind that we started this whole process 3 years ago. The projects were developed between 18 months and 2 years ago in their rough form. And so we estimated cost. We didn't have all the engineering work done at that time, so those were estimates. And now, a year and a half later, as we get the engineering work and the actual bids, we're finding that some of them are exceeding our expectations. So one of those projects specifically, the commissioners got a report yesterday, Wednesday, that our emergency radio project, which is really the result of a problem that goes back probably at least 30, maybe 40 years, where there are dead spots in communication within the county. And so 911 radio calls between police units, between fire units, there are dead spots around the county, and they cannot communicate from those areas. And so this project was designed to eliminate those dead spots, to upgrade radio equipment, and at this point, we're talking about 2 radio towers that will allow those dead spots to be addressed. The original estimate was $1.5 million. The current estimate is in excess of $3 million. So we're value engineering, but there's only so much you can do with the physics of radio waves and how that works. So we're looking at the potential, the necessity of moving some dollars around. Don't know what that'll look like yet. It's possible that we won't be able to complete that project, but we're still looking at that. Moving on, we have about $800,000 that is committed between the EDC and the county to light illumination. We're moving forward with that project. We're in the process of getting estimates. We're working with communities across the county to use their unsafe building process so that everything is legal and above board. These are buildings that need to be removed. The owners have been ordered to remove the buildings. If they don't do that, we have the authority to take them down. And roughly 40 buildings across the county will be taken down under this process. We also are working on a program, because housing is so important, to help with infrastructure for housing in the unincorporated areas of the county. So we're putting together a process. Time is short. We may end up needing to trade money, so we may need to spend ARPA dollars on something else and then make other dollars available so that the time limit can be extended. But we're looking at helping developers put in the infrastructure in unincorporated areas of the county hopefully that have access to municipal water, municipal sewer, those kind of things. And we hope to announce something, a final decision in the next couple of weeks on where we're going with that. There's roughly $1 million available for that. We have not mentioned a lot of the other projects that are going on. They're not necessarily going to be as marquee projects, but they're equally important. So one of the things we committed to is assisting the YMCA in remodeling space for a new child care center. That project is moving forward and is almost complete. Expected announcement in the relatively short term on when that project will launch. We also are working on some animal welfare things. You probably are aware that we hired a consultant out of Florida to come in and look at the animal welfare system in Wayne County and what kind of changes do we need to contemplate. We're working with the city very closely to try to collaborate and maximize the benefit of whatever we do. It looks like in the next week or so, we'll be engaging a local veterinarian on a contract for the balance of this year to work with local animal shelters, pet food companies, veterinarians, interested parties, our own animal control officers, to look at what the current system looks like, what kind of changes are possible, and how we can better cooperate, collaborate, to make that system work better. So there are a number, again I said 33 projects. We hope to complete all of those in the coming year or so. But that is just the beginning. That's the next step. So we also have been working again with the city. We're starting conversations and have had conversations with all the towns. We're working with the Wayne County Foundation and all of the team that we assembled for the health program are willing to work with us on the next step. These are $10 million plus of projects that are going to happen, that will be in place in the short term like government standards. Sorry for business people. It's a little different terminology. But we're moving forward. We are on the brink. We're on the cusp right now of major improvements to the quality of life in Wayne County. And we don't want that to stop. We want to keep the momentum going. So Okra announced earlier this year a new Stellar program, a regional Stellar program. We applied. We had 10 government municipalities agree to participate. There was an increase of a couple. There were a couple that were not allowed to participate in Stellar because they received Okra funding under the health program. So we were not accepted as a finalist in that process, but there's enough momentum to continue the process without the commitment of funding from Okra. And so working with the foundation, it is our intention to go into the next planning process. As these projects are completed and we can check them off the list, we want to all work together. We want to invite every municipality within Wayne County to participate. We want the school districts to participate. We want the public to participate. And so we'll be going through that process again in the relatively near future, at least by hopefully the first of the year. So stay tuned for that. I can't stress enough how important collaboration is to Wayne County, Indiana. We all need to be on the same page. We all need to be working for the same objectives. So please, stick with us, work with us, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the private citizens and the businesses in Wayne County who have participated in funding these projects. There are many, and I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'll thank the community for supporting these projects. There will be ample opportunity to participate in the planning process and to help support those projects as they're identified. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's make Wayne County an even better place to live.
Thank you, Jeff. I
was actually hoping for a standing.
Right? I know. The collaboration that has taken place, as you mentioned, through this process has been amazing, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of all of that. So I know that it's not possible without somebody leading that collaboration, so I want to thank you, Jeff, for the work and taking that on, and the work of the commissioners to do so. So I want to toss this question out to anybody on the panel. What benefits have you seen outside of the actual funding itself?
So I'm going to continue on with the collaboration as far as this goes, speaking for small town Wayne County, because the collaboration with the small towns in the county, and even Beth here from Richmond, everybody recognized that the small towns needed to be included. And you know, it meant so much to Cambridge City, and I know it meant so much to all the rest of them too. And I'll say that going through this process, the help process, I didn't feel like there was one time that the small towns were left out, and the voices were heard, and everything, you know, was brought together, and the collaboration was there all across the county. And I think it's paid off for not us, but for everybody in the entire county. And that was, to me, that's what came out of this. And it shows going forward, as Jeff said, I think there's more opportunity, and we should seize it. And I think that's the great thing that's come out of it, besides just all the monies.
So I think we've heard about the $10 million, we've heard about Revive I-70, Renew, 27 Bridge, etc. What these kinds of projects have done is they have created synergy and being able to leverage public and private dollars. So we have $10 million from help. We just received, not too long ago, the $25 million Earl and Lilly grant. We're applying for the Gift 8. We've received and will be receiving, and you'll see, and Valerie talked about this last State of the State community meetings, but you'll see activity in the downtown with the former Elder Bierman's project that was funded from the demolition standpoint of Ready 1. We've applied for Ready 2 money. So when you look at all of these dollars that are available and that we've gone after, that synergy, that investment, the leveraging of these investment dollars, both from a public and private standpoint, I think is another huge benefit in addition to the collaboration that we've gained from these types of projects.
You left him speechless. So we have 9 minutes before our time is up. I want to look out to the right. Then he's going to speak. I want to give an opportunity for anyone that's in attendance today. Are there questions that you would like to hear from this answered from this panel? You've left them speechless as well. So, well, I want to thank you all again. All across the county, the work that's been going on, and Mary, what you said, that this is just a sampling of the exciting things happening in Wayne County. We hope that you will help spread this energy in your own circles and talk about what's going on around the county with those that you come in contact with. We know that it's easy sometimes, as mentioned earlier, to see the orange barrels and be frustrated about progress, but progress is happening, and the end is in sight. So thank you for that work, and thank you all for being here today. Enjoy your Friday. Lynette is probably saying, don't forget, which I did forget. There's more. We have upcoming events. So, September 10th at Hartley Hills, we have Community Improvement Awards. The Fall Golf Classic is coming up on September 20th. The Business Leader Series is coming up October 2nd. And then the Governor's Luncheon, we want you to save the date for this. Governor Holcomb is coming to town one more time before the end of his term and going to talk to us all. So save the date for October 3rd. And then, of course, Flavor of Wayne County just around the corner with October 11th. All of these things can be found, or you can register using the QR code on the table tent on your table. Thanks again. Have a great weekend.